Brian Robinson taking the direct snap and the pitch forward to Cole Frederick with lots of room down the sideline, diving for the goal line, and is it a touchdown? Is it a touchdown?
Shaking his head.
I haven't seen the signal. Yes, touchdown, Patriots! Here's the snap. Cole Frederick back to pass, being pressured. Lets this one go, and Torrin is there if he can get it, and it will be touchdown, Patriots!
Welcome to the Coach Sam Adams Hillcrest Football Review Show. Brent Jones here with you, along with Coach Adams, of course. Coach Adams, a big win against Northridge, a much improved team, but I thought your team came through and played really well Friday night. Yeah,
we played really well in a couple of different spurts within the game, and that win gives us a good chance to get a first-round home playoff game. So we were happy to get the win.
So, yeah, that you said that gives you a chance to get a first-round playoff game, and a big factor in that is going to come up this coming Friday night as McAdory comes in. Both teams undefeated in the region. That's going to be a big one. Absolutely.
This next game will go a long way to determine the region champ. You know, both teams still have a couple of games after this.
Right.
But whoever comes out on top will have the inside track.
Absolutely. And we'll talk more about that in just a few minutes. But before we get to that, we're going to relive the big win against Northridge with the highlights, and we'll talk about those right after this. Stick around. You're watching the Hillcrest Football Review.
Good evening and welcome to the NFHS Network's live coverage of
Stadium in Kennewick, Washington. This is where legends are made.
Beautiful Longmont, Colorado. We are ready and set for the Class 3A.
Stage is set, coming to you from Detroit, Michigan.
We're in the heart of downtown Jackson, Mississippi, a Veterans
Memorial High School in Southbury, Connecticut. We've got a great game here planned.
Welcome back to the Hillcrest Football Review. Brent Jones here with you, and NFHSnetwork.com is the place where you can find our games every Friday night. Coach, coming into this game, Northridge at 5-1, looking good. Your team 4-2 with a very tough schedule. You knew it was going to be a tough game coming in. We have the captains here with the coin toss, and as usual, you won the toss, so you elected to receive, and we're going to see here in just a second that is going to pay off with the first drive.
Yeah, I feel like the last couple of weeks we kind of got back in our rhythm on offense a little bit. We had a touchdown on each of the last two open drives of the game.
All right, so the team comes out, as you can see, ready, fired up, and here we go with the opening kickoff from their girl kicker, who I thought did a pretty good job, especially on this kick.
Yeah, she did. She did well pretty much the whole night there.
All right, here's the start of this first drive. You get the ball in Brian's hands early, as usual.
Yeah, he makes a good run after the catch, and we're always wanting to find ways to get him involved in the game, besides just handing the ball, obviously.
And a misdirection here with Cole.
Cole's really improving as a runner, and that just adds another weapon on our offense. And there was a good conversion there. Good run between the tackles, well blocked play. And I thought Brian really ran it well at the beginning of the game, and had some good runs toward the end too. But the first couple series were really solid on his part.
I know you had to be pleased with the way your team just moved it right down the field to start out.
Yeah,
that's the script, right?
It is. Yeah, we stayed in good down distance situations, and that lets us be pretty aggressive with the way that we call it.
Inside the 5 all the way.
And here's the quarterback sneak for the touchdown. Capping off, what was it, 74 yards, somewhere around there?
Yeah, I believe it was a 12-play drive, so it was really good execution and good focus coming out of the gate.
All right, so Northridge takes over and trying this reverse, but your team did a good job staying home and not falling for that.
Yeah, they've tried that a few times this year. There's not a lot of misdirection involved on the reverse the way it times out for them. Our guys did a really good job of covering.
So your defense holds their first possession. We get the ball back on the punt here.
Yeah, we ended up getting a block in the back penalty. That was questionable at best, but we did another good job on offense of taking control of the game early.
Second drive looks like a repeat of the first drive.
Yeah, Torrin Mayhew with a nice run after the catch there. He had several of those. It was a big time weapon for us on Friday.
I put this in here because something happened here, a miscommunication. I believe Cole wasn't ready, but he did a good job actually catching that ball.
Yeah, well, the ball was snapped early. We were about to send a motion, and the ball ended up in Cole's hands a little earlier than he expected.
One of those look what I found type situations. Great job here by Touring.
That was another good third down conversion. Good route, throw, and catch, and run after the catch.
Now this is a chop block on the defense. I was a little bit confused by this.
Yeah, it's a illegal block below the waist on the defense. As much as we pull our linemen out on the perimeter, some teams will try to take their defenders and cut the legs out of our offensive linemen, and that's illegal for the defense to do.
Okay, and you got an interference call in the end zone here.
Yep.
Get closer. And Brian runs it on in.
Yeah, we're getting some good production out of what most teams would call a wildcat.
What is your term for that?
We call it storm.
Storm?
We call it storm, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they'll try another reverse, and they had a little bit more success this time.
They did. They hit a little crease there, and we got out of our lanes, and we were fortunate to get a penalty call to bring that one back.
So it brings it way back, and that could have been a difference maker in this game early on. So they're starting back at their 20, and then they show their big play capability here.
Yeah, they have some really talented receivers and quarterback as well, and that's just Keith Crenshaw was really in nice position there, and the kid just made a great play.
And another blocked extra point. How many blocked extra points is that this year?
We've had several. Those are really big momentum swings throughout the game. It kind of takes the wind out of their sails a little bit after a touchdown if we can block the extra point. There was a good kickoff return from Cole Kazai.
So we end the first quarter with Hillcrest up 14-6, and the momentum starts to shift here in the second quarter, though.
It does. We had a few drives there where we were kind of taking turns on offense, shooting ourselves in the foot. It was a little miscue here and there. And, unfortunately, we had a good punt there to give us some pretty good field position, or back them up in poor field position, I should say.
All right, then we go through a couple of punt exchanges here. Offense is unable to do much.
There we get another good roll. Aside from the snap miscues late in the game, our punt team was really solid.
Yeah. So Northridge takes a hold of that momentum here, and again, the big playability. That quarterback was an athlete, wasn't he?
He was. Yeah, we had a little bit of a misfit on our defense there, and gave him a running lane, and it's hard to catch that guy once he gets some space out ahead of him.
I got more here.
But they missed the 2-point conversion, so it stays at 14-12. And kind of a miscue on their kickoff there.
Yeah, here we.
I really like this play.
Have a little play action off of a reverse that we run, and we had him down the field, and that one kind of caught up in the wind a little bit. There were some pretty strong wind gusts.
Yeah.
And that's the one of the cardinal sins of playing quarterback there. If you're rolling left and then trying to throw it back across your body, and their kid made a good play on it.
And they tried quite a few little gimmicks there on you Friday night, didn't they?
They did. They really did. It felt like when we got into halftime that we'd already taken their best shot. We believe with all the trick plays on the kickoff return, and then that one on offense. They were really aggressive in the game. So I felt like once we settled into our rhythm a little bit more, we'd be in good shape.
Fortunately, you held them, and then we were expecting you to run the ball, maybe run out the clock, and then you go for the bomb.
Yeah.
You like to catch people off guard, though, don't you?
Yeah, we try to mix that up a little bit there. We had the good completion to Jahi, and then took another shot at the end zone. 2 more shots at the end zone, actually. This one was really close.
Yeah.
Here we want to, if we can't come down with the ball the first time, we want to actually tip it up in the air, which we did.
Right.
And, had a decent shot at it.
Right. So at halftime, you're up by 2, 14-12, and what looked like it was going to be total domination in the first quarter turned out to be a ball game in the second quarter. And, of course, we have the homecoming queen being crowned here. Homecoming court. It's a big event for all the students on Friday night, as you see right here. But then we go into the second half, and again, you have to start using your psychology skills to get your team ready for that second half after they've lost the momentum.
Yeah, and you know, like I said, what we talked about was, you know, how we thought they had shot all their guns early, and here we get a big play on out of our punt block team and set us up in some good field position.
Looks like that one could have been a scoop and score if they had just been a little bit more patient with it.
Yes, that's what we were hoping for there, and you know, sometimes those guys just get excited at the idea of getting on the ball.
Right.
But in that scenario, we would definitely like to try to pick it up and advance it if we could. Unfortunately, here we answered quickly on offense again with the what we call our storm package.
So we hold them on the. Well, actually, we have the ball here on 1st and 10 now.
And this one, if I remember correctly, this is a one-play drive.
Right, immediately after the punt miscue.
Yeah, we had some nice blocks down the field there. Jahi had one inside the 10. And, our guard, Jordan Chisholm, I believe it was, had a nice block on the perimeter. Tyler Frederick, that was really a well-executed play and a big momentum swinger in the game.
And we talked about the receivers and how great of a job they're doing blocking downfield, and also your guards pulling, doing such a great job.
Yeah, and that's kind of our personality this year on offense. We're a lot more of a perimeter team than we were last year.
Right.
You know, we're a little smaller inside the box, but we're more athletic, and so we like to get our linemen out there and let them run a little bit.
Kagan's exciting every time he touches the ball. You never know what's going to happen.
That is true. That is true. This was a really good, another third down conversion. Good throw and catch. Yeah, he you know, shook off a couple of drops early in the game to have some big catches as the game went on.
Team right here, really after the previous touchdown on the muffed punt, and then this possession, you really start to dominate and take control of the game.
Yeah, we got them on a little double move there. They were trying to bring some heavy pressure on 4th down, and you know, to be honest, we didn't. When we left the offense out there on 4th down and gave them the hard count, I really didn't know if we were going to go for it or not. And we liked the look that we got, and so we decided to run the play and ended up in the end zone, which was nice.
The kick is received at the 30. So they drive it, get a couple of first downs here, but your defense able to hold here in just a minute. This is a 4th down conversion that we had.
Yeah, that's a really good play call there, using all their weapons.
And the third quarter ends with Hillcrest up 28-12. We reverse ends of the field, and Northridge is threatening here and could have made a ball game for it if they could have scored here.
Yeah, our defense has played pretty well all year with their backs up against the wall like they are here. And so I was happy to see them respond.
But we definitely know, guys, it's not capable of making a ball game with this in the 4th quarter.
Here's a little editing issue on my part for leaving too much of the pre-snap right here, but here comes the snap.
Yeah, this is a really big 4th down stop. Good job just fitting where we're supposed to fit on defense, and you know, really didn't give them a good running lane to get the first down.
As you can see in the measurement there, the 4th down conversion no good, but then your offense gets stacked up again and has to punt.
Yeah, and it was a nice punt, and really, you know, you see 2 missed tackles there, which you know, we're not excited about on the punt coverage,
But how about Carson Williams, the punter, making the tackle?
Yeah, that's when you get that many guys around the ball. You know, you made 2 guys miss. He still ends up with I believe, a 6-yard return. So that's pretty good coverage.
Yeah, that's great. And there's Kagan with excitement, bobbling the punt that time.
that was a testy one there.
Beautiful catch there by Torrin, going low to get that one.
Yeah, another 3rd down conversion. I thought that was a big key in the game for us. You know, we had a chance to kind of put the game away. And we give them a little bit of hope here on the high snap on the punt.
Right, but your defense comes through once more on this possession.
That was I was happy to see Keith there make a play on that after he'd gotten beaten on one earlier. He has the pick there and has another pass breakup a little bit later. There we have another high snap that kind of throws our rhythm off a little bit.
All right, so they have good field position again, but not a whole lot of time to do much about it being down 2 scores.
No, yeah, that was was good that the time was on our side at that point.
I know you would have liked to have been able to hold them out of the end zone on this possession, though, because those points, when tiebreakers come along, can make a difference.
They can, yeah. They did a good job on this last drive of just really kind of staying patient and getting it down there. You know, we made them snap it a lot of times, and you know, ended up, even though they got the score at the end, you know, they really didn't have any time to do anything with it afterwards.
Right, so time runs out here, the final kickoff, and the final score ends up being 28-20, which to me is a lot closer than I felt like the game was. But perhaps I was a little bit off and fooled by the domination early on.
Yeah, you know, we really had a chance to effectively end the game before we had the couple of snafus on our punt. And so we gave them a little bit of hope there at the end when we really shouldn't have.
Right, but overall, it's a big win. You're 3-0 in the region now, moved to 5-2 for the season. Big game with McAdory coming up Friday night. They're coming in undefeated, 3-0 in the region, top 10 team as well. A lot of eyes in the state of Alabama will be focused on Roy Johnson Stadium Friday night. And we'll talk more about that game coming up right after this. Stick around. You're watching the Hillcrest Football Review with Coach Sam Adams.
Ms. Jones, will you tell us a little about the football broadcasting, how the students get involved with it?
I sure can. Last year, when I was hired to be the theater teacher here at Hillcrest, I presented an idea to Miss Mays because I have a background in sports broadcasting. I thought it would be a great idea for us to broadcast Hillcrest football games because it's such a successful football program, and I knew that a lot of people would be interested in that. So talked to her about that and Coach Hinton about it. They both loved the idea. So we got on board with the NFHS network, which broadcasts high school games all around the country through live internet stream, and we became a part of that. And we've done every game for the past 2 seasons, and we plan on continuing it. We've also added a coach's review show that we post on the school website each week. Now, as far as getting the students involved, what we do is we have the students participate as running cameras, whether it's showing the live shot of the actual game or being in the stands or on the sidelines, getting B-roll for us to use later. We also have a student as a director. We have statisticians. We have several jobs that students participate in. And the way they get those jobs is they apply for them, and we do interviews, and we decide on who we think is the best qualified for those jobs. And it's been real successful so far.
Thank you, Ms. Jones. Back to you.
Welcome back to the Hillcrest Football Review with Coach Sam Adams. And Coach Adams, Northridge game in the past, it was a good one, but I tell you, it's going to be a tough one Friday night. You've got a really high-quality opponent coming in a very meaningful game. Yeah,
absolutely. McAdory's historically had one of the best programs in the state over the last probably 20 years or so. They got a really athletic quarterback that can throw the ball as well. I think that's kind of been a trend for us this year to play against really good quarterbacks. So he'll fit right in with 3 or 4 other really good ones we played this year, and it'll be a good test for us.
All right, should be a good one. And next week at this time, we're going to be talking about what a big win it was. You mark my words, okay? Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.